Today we're waiting for Jessica G. Gonzalez to be with us. We are going to have nonstop candidates today for you all. Some of the candidates we had on before, to give like a hey, tomorrow's the first day of early vote, what they're doing tonight, how they're thinking, how they feel about the race. Just so y'all get like a last final push kind of thing. We're going to do that throughout the week with various candidates, whatever. Hopefully, y'all will enjoy tonight's show. One of the things that's going to be awesome is at the end of today's show, at approximately 8:55-ish, we're going to have 3 sitting judges from the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals on with us. These are currently your judges on the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, which is a statewide office that is essentially the Supreme Court for all criminal cases in the state of Texas. So if you are going to the state district court and then you appeal it, hey Bonnie, hi Bonnie, how you doing? You're gonna love today's
Bonnie.
please stay with us as long as you can. The crawl will give you an idea as to who we're having. First today, we said Jessica Gonzalez, Vanessa Ticadina wanted to come on. We had an opening at 7:45 for about 10 minutes, and it's how it's going to be. It's going to be 10 minutes apiece. That's all they're going to get. So bring on Jessica. I think we already have her backstage. And thank you. Hey, Jessica, how you doing?
Hi guys, how are you?
Doing good.
Good evening, how are you?
Welcome
Welcome
to the Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Jessica, what do you want to tell the voters today of Brownsville ISD? Because you're running for Brownsville ISD and tomorrow's the first day of early vote. What do you want to tell us, the voters?
Yes, I am. Well, thank you guys for having me. I know it's super quick. I just want to, more than anything, what you guys are doing is reminding the people that tomorrow is the start of early voting. I am your candidate for BISD Place 3. For BISD, I already said that. Mm-hmm. Place 3. Remind everybody that I am not a political person. I cannot put it simpler than I put it for so long. I am just a mom that wants a better district for my children and your children. Remember, if you're not a BISD parent, this race still affects you. If you have BISD property, this affects you. I want to make sure that our taxes are spent properly. that if they're allotted for a certain thing, they are going to be for specifically that. Hi, Miss Bonnie.
Hey, Peter.
And yeah, like I said, I've been a volunteer for the district for many years, part of different committees. I'll be honest,
Right.
I miss it like crazy. But that's just where we are right now because of the virus. And we have to push forward. If you don't know where to vote, feel free to reach out. I do know I've been talking to a lot of people today. I have some rides. I'm going to be a little Uber tomorrow. How exciting!
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you wear a mask, have a lot of gloves. And just so everybody knows, I haven't told you, Jessica, but I'm publicly endorsing you for this race. I love Argelia Miller. She's a dear friend of mine, and I do have a lot of respect for Vito. But we've asked Vito to come on our show. He hasn't. I want our viewers to be able to hear the candidates. You and Argelia went, and although I love Argelia, you have my endorsement and my support. Hopefully, Frank, if you're watching, you can endorse Jessica as well because we need your help. I think your place is hugely important. I love you and your family a lot. You've always helped me when I run for office, and I want the voters to know that I fully support you.
Go District 1.
Yeah. So, Frank, please, I know you're watching. Please endorse Jessica. We need your help to get her.
Please. Thank you for that, Roman. It truly means a lot.
Manny, you endorse Jessica? Not putting you on the spot there, Manny.
100% do. 100% do.
Thank you, guys.
This is not a real politics endorsement. Us individually as people. Not everybody we're having on, we're endorsing. Unless you hear it from my mouth, we're endorsing. Jessica, what has the community been telling you in the last 2 weeks since we've had you on? We're going to have you on again later on this week for a full hour. I want to make sure we know that you're here. What have the voters told you?
One of the main things, the consistent thing that people have been saying is they're tired of the divisiveness. They're tired of the fighting, and more than anything, they want somebody fresh. They want somebody new. I am new to politics. You know, I'm still at Roman. You've always been there to answer my questions. I came in. I don't want to say knowing nothing because I've been a voter for years, but just the whole system, and it was very eye-opening. Let me just say, but the people are tired of the fighting, and they're tired of the same people going over and over and over. And I will say that as far as the part of the same people over and over, me being new to this whole political system, and like I said, it was very eye-opening. I don't blame people for not wanting to be a part of the system. It's hard. It's time-consuming. It's sad. It's draining at times. A lot of times, I shouldn't say at times. So I don't blame the people for saying we're tired of the same people going over and over, and I understand them.
Yeah. One of the issues that have been going on in your particular race that I've noticed, where we have you on for like the next 6 minutes until we have a 7:45 coming up, is your opponent. Campaign finance reports came out last week. Your opponent is spending tens of thousands of dollars on this race. What does that tell you when you're not spending that much money? You're not raising that amount of money. How can you compete with that? How can you compete with that man? You're the incumbent.
Well, I'm going to the people, Roman. That's what I'm doing. I'm going for the people. I want to say I can relate to a lot of people out there. I understand I can't relate to everybody, but that's what the people want. They want somebody accessible that they can reach out, that they can tell their concerns. For example, I even took out a whole separate phone line, which I don't think I've given you.
It's okay. I don't need it.
Busted. But you know, you can call me either line. I'm accessible to the people.
I don't need to call you. I call you enough. It's fine.
I know, but no.
Kill me as many times I call you.
We're not that far away. Okay. But no, I'm accessible, and I think that is what people want more than anything. Is somebody that they can relate to. People are hungry for change. They're hungry for just the new everything. It's just so interesting to talk to somebody. And for example, like I spoke to somebody today over here on La Muralla, but then the same people at the country club, I took your advice, are saying the exact same thing. They're tired of the system. And like I said, these are people that aren't even connected in absolutely any way and this is what they're saying, and I don't blame them. Like I said, I've been a voter forever. Putting myself.
You can work, Claudia.
Hi, Claudia. Putting myself as a candidate side. I speak as a parent.
Sorry.
I'm also I'm hungry for change. That's part of the reason why I decided to go in there. I've always said I can just stay in my little corner and help my little schools, but I do believe that change is possible, and that's why I put myself in the race. And not just myself. I put my family in the race, and I truly think we can do this. I truly do. Back. I know I shifted from my opponent. But people want somebody that they can relate to.
Yeah, and I do. I think we need somebody who is not going to necessarily be a fighter and having fights back. Last week allegedly there was a ruckus or something that was happening in executive session. Loud voices. Somebody's going to be open and tell people the truth, and we'll work with both sides. And I truly believe that you will work with everybody on the board. You're not going to be part of a majority necessarily. You're just going to work with whatever is best for us taxpayers. And what are you asking me? I don't know what you're asking me, Manny. Work with both sides and be open, accessible to parents, to teachers, to staff, and to others.
Yeah, definitely. I always bring back my history in retail. Like I said, I was a manager in retail. I managed the academies, I managed the HEBs, I managed the Exxons back when they became all these privately owned. Anyway, but my point is, I can bring people together, even if we don't agree or personally, I don't like you. You know what? We're adults and we have to be better than this, and we have to have a common goal. And right here, the common goal for BISD is more than anything, the children. Then of course, you have your jobs, then you have your taxes, and there's tons of important things. It's not really, I don't want to play down COVID. COVID is a huge thing right now, but we have to have a common goal and we have to be adults in this.
Yeah, I think you will do a good job and you'll listen to what is vitally important. Manny, we're having Jessica on, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Okay, we're having you on I thought it was tomorrow and we were leaving. Tomorrow. Okay, Wednesday. Well, we'll be seeing Jessica on Wednesday at 7:30. Hopefully, you'll probably see a different lady because she'll be probably all red from standing out holding signs and taking people to go vote. She'll probably have like a suntan thing, so just forgive her. That's what's going to happen. That is how you know your candidates are working, if you see them sunburned, tan, disgusting for the next 3 weeks. That's how you know. And if they don't look that way,
I can take a bath for them.
Yeah, take a bath. Take a bath. So we'll see you on Wednesday. Is there anything last minute thing you want to tell the voters of Brownsville while we have you on?
15 seconds, Jessica.
Oh my goodness, no pressure. Please remember me when you go vote. Please, please, please. Again, I'm not part of the system. I am just a mom that wants a better district, again, for my children and yours. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Awesome. Okay. God bless you, Jessica. We'll see you on Wednesday. All right. Take care.
Good luck tonight, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, who do we have next? Okay. This is going to be how it's going to work, guys. We're going to have one candidate on for 10 minutes, then on to the next candidate. We're going to move on as quickly as possible for you so you get a little bit of last second. The excitement is building. Tomorrow is the first day of early vote. You can, if you are in Cameron County, you can vote anywhere in the county, in Hidalgo County, in Clayborough County, and any counties in Texas. Vote anywhere, vote early, vote in person, and make sure you wear a mask if you can. Awesome. Thank you. We really like her too. She's really sweet. Yeah. A caring person. Bonnie, if you can help her out any way you can, that'll be great. She's an awesome person. I think, who do we have next, Manny? Nobody?
We're supposed to have Vanessa right now, and not a lot of
Vanessa on. She has 10 minutes to come on. If she ain't on, we're gonna have to move on. Why did we had an open slot for 7:45 today. One of our candidates wasn't able to make it, which is fine. It happens. And so Vanessa contacted you, right, Manny, today, that she wanted to come on?
She did. She wanted to clear up a situation regarding the campaign finance report, and I don't know how deep you want me to get into it or not, but
she was upset about something. I don't know. You were traveling all day today, but Manny, yeah, she's awesome. Veronica can wait till if she can. Veronica, I know you're backstage. Veronica, I'd love to have you on right now, but we want to make sure that the slot is available for Vanessa. It's now 7:56. She has 9 minutes, and at 7:55 you'll come on. Okay, I know you're backstage, Veronica. the thing is, she hasn't gotten the link. She hasn't gotten the link. Yeah,
Sure did.
Manny has
Click it.
we're waiting. So, yeah, we'll wait for her. This was kind of.
I sent her the link on Messenger. Okay, on Facebook Messenger. That's where I sent the link to.
So we're waiting.
So we got this comment from Sochi.
So she got money from Baltasar's. No, I spoke with her last night and Fonseca has not gotten any money whatsoever from Baltasar at all.
At all.
Yeah, I asked her specifically, and she said no, she didn't receive anything from him whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure she would have told me right now when I asked her about the money. Jessica wouldn't lie to me. At least I would hope she wouldn't lie to me. But you know what? Sochi, save that question for Wednesday, and you can ask her yourself to make sure she hasn't gotten any money from him. And they haven't had any communication, my understanding, at all.
I'm going to try this a different way here.
Okay. Well, it's 7:47. We have Fonseca backstage, so. Anyway, so tonight, what I wanted to tell you all, we have 3 judges of the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals coming on our show today at 8:55. These are 3 incumbent Republicans running against 3 challenging Democrats. It's hugely important. A lot of people don't realize how important our judges is until you're in court. And these judges are excellent people. They have my full endorsement, if that means anything whatsoever. But they're great people. They've done a very good job in office for us, the citizens of the state of Texas. She wanted to cover her tract. I have no idea. Hey, Wolf, what's up, Wolf? Yeah, so make sure, and Wolf, I'm pretty sure Wolf is absolutely helping these 3 statewide Republicans who need your help. She's waiting.
Okay, just so you know, I sent her the link on Facebook Messenger and our Messenger chat that we've been messaging back and forth all day. So she's got it in 2 spots right now.
And just so you all know, I have no idea what they have been talking about because I don't do any of that stuff. I don't do Messenger. I don't get messages. The page is handled specifically by Manny, not
Roman, where in Germany was I exactly?
I don't know. I think you were in Hamburg, Germany is where you are. Yeah. Germany was great. He had to arrive all day long. He'd been managing his life from Germany. No, so it's been crazy.
I just flew in, and boy, my arms are tired.
Yeah, you were flying like crazy. Oh, I didn't even introduce Josh or anybody because we've been so quickly. Josh, we have Josh is from the Cameron County Conservatives Facebook page. Josh, how are you doing? Are you exhausted from yesterday? Still from the Trumptilla?
I'm a little suntan, but we had a great event yesterday, and we I look a little raccoonish, but we had a great day out on the bay, showing support for not only President Trump but our local candidates that were able to come out and speak to the crowd, and so we had a great event overall, and it went really well. And so the conservative movement is alive and well here in the Valley.
Yeah, how excited are you for tomorrow for the first day of early vote?
I'm super excited. I think it's going to go a lot better than a lot of people are anticipating. And I think we're going to do a lot better than some people are thinking historically that we've done in the past. So anything's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we go talk to Mrs. Veronica Deaton real quick? Nope. Wait. Okay.
7:55 is her time slot. It needs to be open for Vanessa. This is her time slot. She's not able to make it. She has 5 more minutes. I'm sorry to do this, but I do not. Hey, Sharky.
Sharky.
Hey, Sharky. Hopefully, we can handle a 5-minute interview. Just so you all know, we are very excited. We've been working with some really good statewide candidates wanting to come on our show. We have to couple.
This is not true, Daniel. This is a bunch of crap. We talked. We agreed to this slot. She's got a couple links to sign on. I'm not going to deny her at all. So don't even go there. Take your little gossip to a different page.
Yeah, you don't do that. She can't make it. She's not here. Here's your slot. Here's your link. I trust Manny. They've given her link. They've been communicating all day long, apparently.
Here, we got her.
All right, Vanessa, let's go. Hey, Vanessa, good. Okay, you got 5 minutes. What's your problem? What's going on?
No, well, I thought that we were going to do that on another show. I thought this was just going to be the 10 minutes to be able to let people know at the last minute before early voting that I am Vanessa Tijerina and I'm a candidate for Texas Senate. So go ahead.
I'm not going to do that, but I want to know, you wanted me to correct something that I made a mistake on or something. So we only got 4 minutes. So what's up?
4 minutes?
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be about candidate stuff, and I thought y'all were going to remedy the situation in the way that it was created.
Okay.
That's what this time slot was for.
That's fine.
bring that up right now.
Last Tuesday, did we not discuss your campaign finance report last Tuesday? Yes, we did, right? We looked online.
You stated that I failed. You stated that I failed to. The thing is, you opened up the show.
Yes, I know. We looked at it together. Please. We looked at it together, the campaign finance report together. I asked you where your campaign finance report was.
I wasn't going to argue with you.
Why didn't you? You didn't have to argue with me. You could have said
no. I knew that I hadn't failed to do anything. Let me know when I can talk.
No. I told you exactly. I asked you, where is your campaign finance report?
So all the time is going to be used with Roman talking.
I'm telling you right now, where was your campaign?
So you're telling me.
I'm asking you, where was your campaign finance report?
So you're going to ask me, you're going to let me answer.
Yes, answer the question.
I did not have to file a campaign finance report 30 days before because I filed
modified campaign
modified. Roman, are you going to let me speak? Are you going to speak over me? Okay, you know what? Let me know when I can speak.
Go ahead and say what you got to say right now.
Thank you. Gracias. I came on the show for the first time with you gentlemen.
Just
tell me when I can talk without being interrupted.
Having a conversation. You had a conversation with Manny all day long that I didn't even know was going on. You had a conversation while he's been traveling the whole day, and you've accused us.
Go
ahead. Let me
all of this is literally just me on the screen with Roman talking.
Yes, because we only have 10 minutes for you, and you were supposed to be here at 7:45, and you weren't. It's not my fault.
Do not send me the link. Show me the proof where you send me the link. My viewers had to go on your show to beg you for the link.
Flat out. You did not turn in campaign finance report.
I didn't have to turn in a campaign finance report.
You didn't tell us.
I didn't have to turn in a campaign finance report. I didn't have to turn in a campaign finance report. I didn't have to turn in a campaign finance report. I didn't have to turn in a campaign finance report. I didn't have to. You so implied that I failed to do.
No, I didn't imply anything because you didn't tell me.
Go to the live video. Go to the live video. I don't have to tell you. This is not up for the debate.
I asked you a question. Why was the campaign finance report not there?
Vanessa, you failed. I don't see it. I don't see it here.
Exactly. I don't see it. Why wasn't it? Why didn't you tell me that?
You all left the audience with that impression.
No, of course, because you didn't want to tell me why it wasn't there. How was I supposed to know you filed a modified campaign finance report?
Why did you assume? Why did you assume?
Because most candidates have to turn in a campaign finance report.
Why did you assume that because you didn't see one, somebody failed to do something? Why did you assume? Because you didn't see when someone failed to do something. Why did you assume? Why did you assume? Why did you assume?
Most candidates have to do that.
Okay, so the beginning.
Why did you assume? Why did you assume?
Last question.
Are you going to let me talk? Are you going to let me talk?
On February 7th, you turned in a campaign treasurer nomination form. Did you not? February 7th, did you?
Gentlemen.
Did you on February 7th?
First of all, I can open up our messages between me and this page. You're not going to railroad me.
Not me.
You're not going to railroad me like this. You're not going to railroad me like this. You're not going to railroad me like this. Are you going to let me talk or not?
It's not railroad. I'm just asking you the question.
Moderate him. Deal with him.
Nomination form on February 7th. Did you?
Deal with him. Deal with him.
I'm asking you a question.
All of this play out. 140 people are watching you do this.
That's fine. You didn't come on at 7:45. You've been demanding Manny all day long. Come on.
You did not send me a link. You did not send me a link. You did not send me a link until my people went on your page.
No.
Link were sent, and I'll show you that documentation.
You have it? Show the timestamp.
I'm not doing it right now. I got a screenshot.
Look at what's happening here.
This is where people said it would go. He asked you a question. Just answer that question.
Why did you turn in a treasurer nomination form on February 7th? Why?
Because I had to turn something in like that.
Why did you turn it in when you expended money, $1,250? Why did you not turn in a nomination form?
Because this is the first campaign that I'm in.
No, you never ran for mayor? You never ran for mayor.
Let me answer or not? Roman, are you going to let me answer or not?
I'm asking
you to let me speak uninterrupted? Are you going to let me speak uninterrupted?
It's already 7:56.
Are you going to let me? There you go. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to eat up the time. You talk.
That's what happened. Questions. It's not hard. You turned in a campaign question report on February 6th. Find
the show's live.
I know it's live.
You gave me a chance. You ate up my time. You ate up all my time. That's all you did, and you still
want
didn't get the outcome that you thought you were going to get.
No, the outcome is simple. Did
No,
you try
the outcome is this.
No.
The outcome is
Has the
that you failed
Texas
to send me a
Commission
link.
find you?
No, the outcome is that you
Veronica,
failed
just
to send
answer
me a
that
link.
question and
You
move
failed
on.
to send me a link.
Vanessa,
My people had to come and ask you for a link.
I'm sure they did. Your people had to do that. I appreciate that. But Manny's had sent it to you before 7:45.
Manny, where did you send it to me?
To Facebook Messenger.
You did not send it to Facebook Messenger, Manny.
As
People can look
documented,
at our
I'll send
messages.
you a screen.
You
I'll
barely
send you a
sent it after
screenshot.
people told you.
I can
Mira,
send you a screenshot.
Mira,
of
and
it.
then you sent it to me. You sent it to me from your profile after you sent it to you from
We sent you
RioPolitics.
a screenshot
All
on
of this
Facebook.
happened after.
All right.
After the
Well, we got to move
after
on. If you want to
7:45.
come back later,
Yeah, no, we have time for you. We'll come back, but you did not answer my question. Has the Texas Ethics Commission fined you for not having a nomination form and expending money?
They absolutely did find me. And what do you want about that, Roman? I forgot, and I didn't know about that. That doesn't matter. The fact is,
I'm asking you.
wrong.
Why
that
didn't you tell me that before?
I failed. I had to amplify my voice with these men talking over me. Mira,
Yes, I'm a man.
this is
Yes,
what
I'm
it's
a
like
man.
for women in
I understand that.
politics.
This
This is what it's like for women in politics.
That's
This is what
it
it's
is,
like.
Vanessa.
This is what
You
it's
had
like.
a
This
choice.
is live TV. This is what it's like. This is what it's like.
You had
This
a
is what
choice.
it's like.
I
This is
asked
what it's
you.
like.
Why
This
did
is what
you
it's
not
like.
mute
Vote
her?
Vanessa Tijerina. Please vote for Vanessa Tijerina. If
I
you
know
do
why
not
this
like
is,
men doing
because you
stuff
did
like
All right.
this,
I got
then
to cut it
vote
right
for
here.
the
I
female
need to
that
get
is
this.
Santa Lucia
effective.
because of what you did to Manny all day long. I'm endorsing Santa Lucia. God bless you. Bye bye.
For now, I need to cut this off right here.
Well, next candidate. Sorry, guys. She had an opportunity to tell me last week on Tuesday when I asked her why there was not a campaign report on October 5th. She had an opportunity to tell me I don't have to because I have a modified filing fee or a modified thing. She didn't do that. She chose not to.
Let's hit that a little bit later. Let's speak with Clear Your Mind for a minute. Take 30
totally
seconds.
fine. Veronica, sorry, Veronica, you're coming in excited. God bless. Sorry, Veronica. She should have been here at 45 and she wasn't. Veronica, thank you for being here.
Hi there. How are
I had to
you?
do that, otherwise it'll go on all night. I can't.
Yeah, it'll go on all night.
Veronica, you are running for Cameron County District Clerk. Tell us what you're doing on today.
All right. So basically, I'm here to tell you that I am running for Cameron County District Clerk, as Roman, you just mentioned. I have over 10 years of experience in the county clerk's office. The only difference from the county clerk's office and the district clerk's office is jurisdictional level. The district clerk's office supports the district courts. The county clerk supports the county courts. So as far as experience goes, I believe that I am the best candidate for this position because of my expertise and my knowledge in the job. Of course, district courts, a little different, but courts nonetheless. So I am here today to ask for you folks out there to vote for the best choice in the Cameron County District Clerk race and vote for Mirla Veronica Deaton.
Veronica, I fully endorse you. I think you would be the best person for this position right now. There's hands down nobody that your opponent is not qualified as much as you are. Can you please
second that? Yep, definitely.
And
Thank you
Josh,
so much.
This is not coming from the RioPolitics Facebook page. This is my personal endorsement. We don't endorse as an organization because we're not an organization. We're just a page. And why are you the most qualified person? I know why you are, but I want you to tell everybody that's watching us why you're the most qualified.
Sure. You know, for over 10 years, I have been serving the people of Cameron County, again, in a capacity under the district clerk's office. I have been in the judiciary actually from the time that I began my employment there with Cameron County. I've held different roles. I've handled some budgets and purchasing in the judiciary, supervisory management. I've held different roles throughout. IT, technology. So I know the ins and outs actually of the court management and case management system. I know how those offices operate. I know what it takes to actually get the job done. I know the responsibilities of the county clerk and the district clerk. So like I said, the only difference there is jurisdictional. As far as running the office, what is necessary to run an organization is actually that organization. When you have an office that is chaotic. And that's not what I'm saying in regards to the district clerk's office, but I am saying what I can bring to the table. What I can bring to the table is that organization that is key in order for an office to operate, in order for an office to actually perform exceptional. And that's what I believe in. I believe in exceptional service. And I have been serving the people coming in those doors in the courthouse, in and out, for over close to 15 years now. So from attorneys to the person coming in for assistance, for help, and all people are looking for is information. We're not attorneys. We're not able to provide legal advice, but we can certainly provide information. And we do that, and I have been doing that for many years, pointing people in the right direction, just making them feel comfortable. Actually, people walking in through those doors, they already feel nervous enough having to walk through security. But you need an office that is able to be there for the people, that is going to have that open door and that can walk in and feel comfortable, because after all, these are their offices.
Yes, Veronica, a voter was asking who you're running against. You're the Republican nominee for this particular position.
Correct.
Tony is the Democrat. Laura Perez Reyes, who is right now a BISD trustee, and she received the nomination. So that's who she's running against. Her position is a partisan position. So those of you that are outside of Cameron County that cannot vote for this particular position, please encourage your family and friends that do live in Cameron County to please support Veronica. She needs your vote. She is highly the most qualified person in this race. Please help her. Although the district clerk position is a partisan position, when we had you on before, you made it very clear that although it's a partisan position and you're running for that as a Republican, doesn't mean it's a Republican office per se. Can you, our viewers, know that?
Yes, correct. I mean, it's an administrative position. This is a position where you really need the best qualified individual to run it. Now, you're talking, there are many things, many functions that go on in the district clerk's office, anywhere from filing of civil lawsuits. You have divorce cases, you have felony cases, you have passport applications. And so it's not about a Republican, it's not about a Democrat, it's not about an independent. It's about who can get the job done for that organization and for that office, and for who to benefit from that, but only the people. Again, I mean, this office was created. It's an office that needs to be there because the legislature created it as that. And so who else do you want? You want qualified people that are willing to stay there, that love that job. I've stayed in the county clerk's position because I truly enjoy that job. I truly like that job. This opportunity came about and I took this opportunity. I'm not looking to use it as a stepping stone to move on somewhere else. I'm not saying that other people are. I'm just saying that that's not the case with me. I truly enjoy the administrative duties under the county and the district clerk's office.
How excited are you for tomorrow to be the first day of early vote? And what are you doing tonight other than being with us to prepare for early vote?
Oh my gosh. Well, we're making a lot of phone calls. We're reaching out to people, family and friends. I had a couple of visitors already. So I tell you, and actually in reality, and put all of this in the hands of the Lord. I mean, at the end, we can have as many signs as we want out there. We can have, the most drive-bys. We can call 1,000,001 people. But at the end, in reality, it is the Lord that decides.
Manny, if you don't mind posting a link to her campaign page, or if you can, Josh, on the RioPolitics page. I know Manny's the only one. Manny is the only person who has access to the RioPolitics page. I do not. Neither does Josh. Manny's the one in charge of this page because.
Sure, it's just, you can look me up for vote Mirla Veronica Deaton.
Yeah, and if not, we can try to put it on the page. Please go out and vote. Are you encouraging your voters to vote early, day of, or mail in, or whatever they want to do?
As long as you vote, whatever is best for you. If you can get it out of the way now, get it out of the way. We have many days ahead of us, actually. You have many opportunities beginning tomorrow to go out and vote. So, come November 3rd, a lot of people are rushing and whatnot. Personally, myself, I like voting on election day. but
my usual thing. So yeah. A lot of people are supporting you because, frankly, I wasn't expecting an argument to ensue, but it happens from sometimes. This is the kind of interview I prefer. I want you to shine. I want the candidate to shine, not, a complete fight. And I think the way you are, how you're calm you are, is the type of is the type of person we need in that office who's going to be able to work with angry people or disgruntled employees or disgruntled people who don't want to necessarily serve on the jury for whatever reason.
And we've seen it all. I mean, I've seen it all. So yes, you do need someone that is calm and collected and that is able to think and analyze each situation, because it's not going to be just the day-to-day person that walks in the door upset. You're going to have to deal with other elected officials. You're going to have to make decisions that are difficult. And how do you want to react? Do you want to react emotionally to those things? Do you want to just react, or do you actually want to analyze and think about what is the best implementation, or what is the best resolution for whatever matter comes through?
You'll be a great asset to our county, so I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate that.
And those of you that are watching this, please help out Veronica.
Yes, please.
Text your friends, hound them, tell them please vote for Veronica. Yes, and if you want to help her out, maybe phone bank for her or something like that. Message her. I'm assuming they can message you and get in contact with you.
Yes, you can. You can. Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
You have the
they can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. You can, send me a messenger or IM me. Yes.
God bless you, Veronica. We'll let you go.
Thank
you, Veronica. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Bye. All right, we got next with us is Dr. Gonzalez, who is running for Congressional District 34. Dr. Ray is hoping to unseat an entrenched incumbent, Filemon Vela, who has done very little for our community. That's just my personal opinion. Dr. Ray has my full endorsement. A complete endorsement? Dr. Ray is running for, how many counties are in your, like 12?
You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. How many counties are in your? It goes from Cameron County, half of or a quarter of Hidalgo County, all the way up to like Gonzalez County and around Nueces County. Right?
That's right. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you all for having me tonight. There's 11 counties. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can totally hear you.
But before I get into that, I want to just say that I want to add to the list of people that are unconditionally endorsing Veronica Deaton. She is a fantastic lady, and I think brings about the professional, the respectable poise that we need to that office. And so I joined the choir of people that are applauding her willingness to serve, and I'm one more that wants to see her in that office. Veronica, well done, young lady.
Yeah. Why? So tomorrow, first day of early vote. Not the first time you run for office and had an early vote, but how excited are you tomorrow?
Yeah, so because we've been so busy campaigning throughout the district, and you said it correct, it is a huge district, goes from Brownsville all the way to Gonzalez. We have been arranging events even tomorrow, and just today I was in an airplane coming back from Houston. We're recording a commercial up there with the RPT and some of the other folks running for their congressional districts. So we've been very busy. We're excited, as we will be, I think, even to the very last day. It's my tradition to wait to the very last day as well on the election day. But my father is a great example of someone who should be voting by mail. He's got multiple sclerosis. He's 81 years old. He's in a wheelchair. And usually I take him on election day to curbside vote. They'll come out to the actual van and they'll let him vote there. But considering, all things considered, I think this year is a perfect way to experience the vote by mail. And I want to encourage all those people that usually take advantage of the curbside voting. If because of everything that's happening, you're thinking about not voting, your vote is so important. It is so important this time around. Please consider asking for a ballot to be mailed to you. It's not too late. You can do that and participate in our great democracy. We are running because the direction that our country is headed is very dangerous. And we want to provide for the people of the 34th Congressional District a conservative option, a true conservative option. Now there is an independent running. There is also a libertarian running. I want to encourage people to vote for me because those two candidates, as well-intentioned as they are, and one of them, I think I would agree with him completely, except that he didn't challenge me in the primary, and I think he would have been a Republican had he won a challenge in the primary. So those two individuals, I think, would only hurt to peel away some votes from our race and hurt us in our attempt to replace and to retire Filemon Vela. So if you're serious about denying Nancy Pelosi the speaker's gavel come January 2021, if you're serious about retiring Filemon Vela, I ask you to cast your vote for me, and then tell all your friends about it too. We have a wonderful opportunity here. The fact that the straight ballot mechanism of voting, the palanca, is gone for the first time in so many years gives us a real fighting chance in this D+10 district. And so we're excited. We're working hard. We'll be working to the very last minute. I had a funny experience today in that flight from Houston to Harlingen. When we arrived, the door wouldn't open. So we were sitting on the tarmac for 40 minutes, and the pilot came out, the co-pilot came out, the stewardess, they were all pushing against the door wouldn't open. They decided to push the plane back a little bit, see maybe the confirmation of how it was parked was jamming the door, push, and nothing would open. And finally he said, you know what, we're going to just use this side door, the door where they load all the Cokes and ice and all that stuff. We had to dug down, actually, guys. We actually had to dug down to get out and got on the tarmac and then anyway, it was quintessential Rio Grande Valley struggles. And I thought, okay, this is kind of like what we're doing now. I'm flying all over the place in this district, and I'm willing to climb through whatever portal I have to reach the voters. And we're going to be successful, Lord willing, November 3rd. It's going to be breaking news.
Yeah.
Richard's going to say breaking news from South Texas. The longtime congressman thought to be undefeatable has just been defeated by Ray Gonzalez. And I hope that the news will be that Monica de la Cruz Hernandez has just beat Vicente Gonzalez, and that Sandra Whitten has just beat Henry Cuellar down in 15. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Where are you going to be tomorrow, and what are your plans for this first week of early vote? Very quickly, while we have you for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, so I hope to do some sign waving somewhere in Brownsville. I haven't chosen the place. I've got 2 meetings in the morning, and the afternoon is where I have some time to go stand by one of the busy corners in Brownsville. I want them to know that I am not so puff that I can't go out there and shake some hands and get sweaty. I'm ready to be heckled. I'm ready to tackle some questions, and I'm ready to get sweaty if I have to let people know that I want their vote.
Since we have
my opponent hasn't even campaigned.
Yeah,
I believe he has to campaign.
Same thing is happening with him and Vicente Gonzalez. Both of them have not campaigned at all. I haven't seen them. What I had the question at the tip of my mind. Have you had any endorsements that have nationally or locally that we're not aware of since the last time we had you?
I don't know if the endorsements from the 2016 and 2018 continue on. Much of the pandemic has affected the way that we even communicate with some of these people. Usually it takes interviews, and so I don't know of any additional endorsements.
I was wondering if you had any you want to share with us?
Not that I know of. Yeah, no
worries. No worries. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Dr. Ray. I don't want to keep you. I know that you're a busy man. I really will hope to have you on. Maybe again, Manny's the one that's scheduling. I know that we have a day open, kind of like what we're doing for today, that we're going to do again with candidates, probably right after early vote is done. I don't know what that day is, but that's up to Manny. I don't do the scheduling, so don't blame me.
No problem.
call if you need anything from me, particularly Dr. Ray. You have my phone number. Is there one thing you want to tell the voters right now that I haven't asked you that you just want to actually tell everybody that's following?
Yeah. So the people of faith, I'd like to join me in prayer between now and the election. Also, talk to your pastors. Maybe they want me to come over and share something about why I'm doing what I'm doing with the congregation. Please reach out to us. Our website's raygonzalez.org. R-E-Y. Ray is R-E-Y, and Gonzalez with two Z's. raygonzalez.org. There's a message board. You can send me the messages. I get them directly. And also, it's not too late to contribute. We need money in this last stretch for some commercials, billboards, not really any more yard signs, but we need to get the message out to those that still don't know. So I'm honored to be on with you guys.
You are definitely in my prayers, as is everybody that we had it on today. God bless you, Dr. Ray. Thank you for being willing to run, and we'll see you soon. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you guys.
Yes. All right. Next, we're going to have Judge Ismael Fonseca. Dr. Judge. Well, you are a doctor because you have a jurisprudence. Judge, how are you? Where are you at right now, Judge? Judge Fonseca, Hidalgo County.
How are you guys doing? I am at the Edinburgh Election Annex here in Hidalgo County. We've had a very busy day. We've been putting up signs all across the county. People who know about the Election Annex here in Hidalgo County, you know that you got to camp out. You got to put out your tents. You can see them in the back somewhere.
I can see it. I can totally see it. I'm just wondering, you look a lot darker than last time I saw you. You've been out in the sun a lot today already.
I have definitely gone to tan, that's for sure. But you know,
we're gonna look like really dark soon. That's how I don't know why I said this third. I think it was Jessica Gonzalez we had on. If your candidate is not sunburned by election day or darker than they normally are, then they ain't working it. They're not trying to get you out. So you can judge the election vote that way.
I can totally agree with that. Now that I've done it, I can say you're not working. If you're not sunburned, if you don't have any calluses, you don't got any splinters, that means you haven't done the hard work of a campaign. So it's been fun. We've gotten some great volunteers. It's all been fun. So yeah. So
tomorrow they can vote early in Hidalgo County. On election day in Hidalgo County, they can vote anywhere in the county, correct? If not, you have to go to your polling location on election day. Do you know by any chance?
I think it's countywide all the time, starting tomorrow.
Yeah, because in Cameron County, it's not that way at all. You have to vote in your polling location on election day. So if you're in Hidalgo County, anybody in Hidalgo County, please, support Judge Fonseca. He has my endorsement as well. He's a friend. We want him to win there. Judge, what can you tell the voters that have maybe just tuned in, haven't watched any of our shows, didn't get to see you on the show before? What can you tell the voters in like a minute or two about you and why they should vote for you?
Well, when I came into office last year, it was under terrible circumstances. A judge had been convicted of bribery and set off vacancies in the court that led to my appointment last year. And I put my hat in the ring to be considered for the appointment precisely because of that, because we need people that are transparent and that know that we need to restore integrity to the courthouse. That's been my motto. That's been the theme of the campaign, restoring integrity. So I've done everything I could on the campaign trail, on Facebook, because of the pandemic, mostly because on Facebook, of getting out there and telling people who I am, what I'm about. And in the courtroom itself, we were running some numbers recently about how we're closing cases. We're not just leaving things to the end. I'm not avoiding controversial topics just because they may hurt me in a campaign. I'm actually getting the job done, and not a lot of courts can say that. I've since taken the bench. Over 1,100 cases have been filed, and I have disposed of over 700. 300 of those during the pandemic. So the pandemic hasn't stopped me in getting the job done. And as far as transparency is concerned, I don't do appointments from the bench. Friends and family don't get any favors. Everything's sent to the Indigent Defense Office, and then they appoint the attorneys. Mediation has to be ordered. There is a list of attorneys, and you just go down the list. I am not going to favor anybody in the courtroom. I suffered for 8 years as a civil defense lawyer, knowing that even though the law is on my side, I'm not going to have a client that's going to win because some of these judges just don't have the courage to stand up and say, this is what's right. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. So I haven't made any friends back here at the courthouse. You probably can't see, it's too dark, but that's okay because that's not what we need. We don't need any more compadres. It's done. We have a county that is in dire need of people that are going to stand up, speak the truth, and say when something's wrong. And that's what I've been doing since day one.
Yeah, compadrizos,
Sorry.
to stop in the valley, and you're one of the people that I think can help stop it. We're tired of who you know, it's not what you know, and it's so annoying. So if you want justice on the border, I encourage those of you watching that if you don't live in Hidalgo County, but that's 1 million people that live there. I'm pretty sure you have either family or friends that live there. Make sure they go vote. If they haven't voted in person already or voted by mail, please vote for Judge Fonseca. Yeah, he will make a difference. Judge, you're from Notre Dame. Your team is undefeated right now, which is crazy. You have potentially.
Why is that crazy?
Because I wasn't expecting to be undefeated right now. But congratulations. Congratulations on that. You have a Notre Dame degree. You judge like ACB and Amy Coney Barrett. You have been taught by one of your professors is going to be sitting on the U.S. Supreme Court. Your opponent can't say that, right? There is not a current U.S. Supreme Court justice that has been personally taught and being a mentor to your opponent. So if you want somebody who knows people and knows how to deal with the law, this is your man. And I think you've also told us that if you are sworn, if you get elected, because you've been appointed, you get elected, notorious ACB is coming down and swearing you in. And she may not even know that, but she will know that now. Judge, tell everybody that's watching this right now while we still have you here, why is the judiciary important? Why it's not it's a partisan position that you're running for, but it's not supposed to necessarily be partisan. Tell them why it's okay to vote for you, even though you're a Republican. I say like it's a bad thing, but
right. Not that it's a bad thing, but we have to look at what has been happening here in Hidalgo County, and the fact that we have a clique that chooses who the next judge is going to be. And unfortunately, it's been taken over by a single party. So I'm an outsider. I say that proudly by not being one of the chosen ones. And it has nothing to do with party. Really, at the end of the day, the law is the law, and you need to implement the law. You need to apply the law to the facts that are presented to you. And that's what I stand for. I haven't seen in this county where that's been done consistently. It goes back to, having the courage of saying, this is what's right, this is what's wrong. So it has nothing to do with that. I'm really an independent voice here because I'm standing up for principles that apply to both Democrats and Republicans, because it behooves Democrats to have someone on the bench that is going to be ruling according to the law, and not because I'm going to favor the lawyer of one side or the other, because there's no way I'm going to know if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I'm just going to have you before me, and I'm going to have the facts, and I'm going to apply them as they are. So it doesn't come down to having the red or a blue robe. I wear a black robe. Okay, the law is the law, and that's how it needs to be applied. So the partisan issue is really inapplicable in this case. Like I said, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'd encourage Democrats to look at what's been happening in the county. Things need to change, and they're not going to change by going to the same old, definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and thinking you're going to get different results the second time around. So we're in a cycle of insanity at this point in Hidalgo County. So people need to get out there, look at what I've done, look at my track record. I think it speaks volumes. And you know what? I've had Democrats come up to me. I've had endorsements from Democrats because they know that the judiciary here in Hidalgo County needs to change.
Yeah, and I hope it does. I really do. I may not live in Hidalgo County anymore, but I do have family, and I've already told them they better vote for you. And if they don't, I'll be very disappointed in them. But it does need to change. Hidalgo County is not doing very well, and we need somebody like you on there. So, Judge, I'm going to let you go. Hopefully, we'll have you on soon again. Manny will be obviously Manny's the schedule. God bless you. Be safe tomorrow, and make sure you wear your sunblock, okay? Because we don't want.
I know.
Okay. All right. God bless you.
Thank you. That'll be nice. Good luck to you.
That is Judge Ismael Fonseca with RioPolitics. Next up, we have the awesome, the great, the one and only Erasmo Castro. Erasmo Castro, my condolences to you and your family on the passing of your tia. That's first and foremost. Erasmo, how are you doing today, Erasmo?
I'm doing good. I didn't have a chance to comb my hair, but
you still have the tag. You couldn't take the tag off before you started brushing.
Well, it's actually funny, but it's one of these bathroom scrub brushes. It's the only shampoo I have.
Well, what can you tell? We have had an awesome show today. I think an exciting show. A show that I wasn't expecting to have a fight with somebody, which I didn't want to because that's not what the show is about. But
Who did you have a fight with?
Your friend Vanessa Tijerina. She was being mean to Manny the whole day. I didn't even know about it until Manny decided to tell me, "Hey, we're having this issue," and so she wants to come on. She can come on. I mean, but she has 7:45. She didn't get out until 7:51, and she's claiming I didn't get the thing from Manny. But I can't help you. Sorry.
Manny's a big boy. Manny can take care of himself.
Yeah, but I defend my friends. I do, and as I will defend you. And Osmo, you have my full endorsement and support. You even have some of my money, which is like really very painful to give to you. I hope you did well with that and did something good for that. Oh, that's right. October 31st is my day on the billboard. That's right. I got to go by October 31st. That's my day on the billboard. All right. Oh, Osmo, tell the people of RioPolitics that are watching this right now why they should vote for you. If they live in Brownsville or if they know family in Brownsville, why they should tell their friends in Brownsville to vote for you.
Well, it's very, very simple, folks. Something that Judge Fonseca mentioned right now, it rings very, very true. Look, Drew Brown, Sylvia's co-conspirator on the board, the individual that hired Kent Whittemore, the individual that helped put money in Sylvia's pocket by taking bribes from undercover federal agent, she submitted a post where she states who her candidates are, who she wants to be elected as fellow board members. And guys, it's very simple. If you look at her list, and we're going to talk about this at 9 o'clock. If you look at her list and you look at Baltasar Salazar's list, it is exactly the same.
Really? I'm surprised by that.
Exactly the same. So if you approve of Sylvia Atkinson taking bribes from undercover federal agents, if you approve of so many years of lies, non-transparency, if you approve of the $325,000 board attorney that only works 4 hours, if you agree with the hiring of the Edinburgh buddies at $2.5 million that should go to teachers, then Drew has a list of individuals you should vote for. But if you want something different, if you want a board that listens, who has promised to keep the safety, the welfare, the well-being, the livelihood, and the life of every single staff member, every single student first, then I'm your man.
What is your plan
for do it to the right guy? Do it to me.
Early. What are your plans for early vote, Erasmo? What do you want to do? Telling people to vote. How are you telling them to vote? In person, mail, vote early, vote often, vote day of. What are you telling your voters to go vote for?
Well, I want people to come out to the polls. I want people to come out to make sure to guarantee that your vote is counted. I need you to come out to the library. It's not going to take you more than 3 to 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Come out to the library. You don't have to get out of your car. All you have to do is drive up and you will be able to vote. I need everyone to come out and vote. They're also going to have a voting site at the Brownsville Event Center.
Okay.
There's also going to be a voting site at the Southmost Library. Every single one of these locations will have a drive-through voting thingamajig. You don't have to get out of your car. If you live close to Cameron Park, you go to Cameron Park on California Road at the Brownie Center, at the TSC Jacob Brown Auditorium. They will have a polling spot. If you live close to the courthouse, come out and vote.
And just so you all know, even if you live in Brownsville but you work in Harlingen or Olmito or San Benito or anywhere. You can vote in those early voting locations too if you want to. You don't have to drive all the way to Brownsville to vote because there will be a ballot there for you with Erasmo's name on it. And I encourage you to vote for Erasmo Castro for BISD place 5. And not just because I endorse him and I gave him money. I honestly believe he's the best candidate in this race. We and Manny in particular has reached out to your opponent to try to have her on the show and has ignored us. And it's not nothing to do with that. It's just accessibility matters. Whether or not I support you or not, you should want to come on and answer questions, whether they're easy, hard, tough, or whatever. And we're going to give you a fair opportunity. But you can't come on here at Osmo on our show and accuse us of misleading people when you don't give us the full information that we ask you, as has happened in the past with some candidates on everybody's show. You have to be transparent. And I do not believe your opponent has been transparent. That's just my personal opinion. And I still have that right in America, right, Osmo, to say that about your opponent? Is there anything in particular that speaks about your opponent as to why she would be the wrong person in this race? Not necessarily because they like you, or there are people that don't like you, flat out. But even if they don't like you, you're still better than your opponent. Why is that?
Well, and before I go into that, let me say, Roman, I appreciate your platform, y'all's platform. I appreciate the invites. Let me tell you, if I could be on here,
I'm going to ask that question. Yes, he does. He knows a lot more than his opponent.
Totally does, 100%.
He does. Even when he and I don't agree on stuff, and there's been plenty of times me and him do not agree on stuff, but he knows about education. He does. I'm sorry you don't agree with that.
I'll answer it. I actually have taught. I've taught for 4 years. It wasn't here in Brownsville, but I did teach in Mexico, so I do know about the educational process. Again, Amor Tonia, I would challenge you to go see the forums.
Absolutely.
It was me and they will clearly show you which one of the two candidates know about education.
Yeah, no, and I can tell you flat out, I mean, this is not an argumentative thing. It's just flat out. You see those debates, you know, those forums, you know who's the one who's informed and understands the issues and has been involved in BISD, and he has. I encourage you to look at the video.
It's a fair statement. I mean, I'll answer the statement. But no, going back to your platform, my opponent and other opponents, they have neglected to make appearances outside of their own little controlled little videos. Look, guys, I am accessible to everyone, to anyone and everyone out there. If I could be on your show every day, I would be on show. And if I could be on their shows or their forum, I would do that. I have offered that. I have offered them to come out on my programs every single day. Come out on my programs. My birth certificate.
Whose birth certificate? His, or do you mean
maybe mine?
My birth certificate says Brownsville, Texas Mercy Hospital.
That's
a good one.
I like you. Fake papers.
No, they're real papers.
No, you sound like they're like Trump.
No, they're real papers, Amorcito. Really, I promise you. And I'll send you a copy of my birth certificate. But Roman, going back to your question, let me tell you, my opponent has no concept or clue of anything to do with education, as Amorcito said. My opponent was thrown in there in order to grant individuals their contracts. Linebarger deposited $2,500 into her account. We know that several insurance agencies have also poured money into her campaign. We know that she's hired politiqueras to go do vote harvesting. So if that's the type of candidate you think is well educated, better prepared, then more power to you. I took $0 from vendors. $0 from vendors. I spent $0 on politiqueras to harvest votes.
And I did get. I'm on your campaign finance report, and no, I did not. There was no. I'm not a vendor. I think your opponent implied that the people didn't she imply that vendors were giving you money or something like that? I'm like, I'm not a vendor. Anyway, well, we have Carlos Elizondo on with us. The idea was to have individual candidates on. I don't know if Carlos minds you being on while he's on. Carlos, another one of my friends.
I love it.
Okay, well, put us all three, Manny. If you could put us like 2 on top or 3 on the bottom or something.
Wait, that again?
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Oh, there you are. Oh, wait, right next to me. I don't know how to look at. And Carlos, you're excited. How excited are you and Erasmo that you're all going to be on the ballot, not against each other?
My hair fell off.
Together. Huh?
I'm so excited. My hair fell off.
I did. This is gonna. You were on the ballot against each other 2 years ago, but you're on the ballot.
Right.
You're
That
not
was
against
a
each
battle.
other.
That was a battle, man. But this is even more important.
Yeah, I think so. I believe you.
Right, it
Why
was important back then. I'll give the win to Erasmo. He did a real good job of dishing the dishes.
He was a
But
tough.
I tell you what, this election is even more important than the last.
Yeah.
And not because Erasmo's running or because I'm running. It's because the school district deserves true leadership, and they deserve someone or several of us that are going to go do the right thing for them.
Yeah.
Is to protect their lives and their livelihood. Notice how they're both, just so important. But I think right now, Erasmo and myself are running the race in the same direction.
Mhm.
And I think that's why and not just because we're here saying it, and not because you guys are involved. It's because the school district employees, they demand change.
Mm.
They are at the point to where it is, what they call it, the last straw that broke the camel's back. It is done. It is done. And November the 3rd, we bring the voice back to the district. We bring the respect back to the employees. We bring what needs to be given back to them that was taken away by this current corrupt board. Yeah, you like that, Erasmo? I used your words. But
can I, I want to say this you both have been endorsed. I don't know where Erasmo went. Erasmo left. I was going to ask you both the question. Both of you were endorsed by AOBE, and a lot of us got your push card from AOBE that said you all have a contract. Can you tell us about that contract with the community that you and Erasmo have?
Sure.
You all endorsed with AOBE.
First and foremost is going to be making sure that we revisit the compensation plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also the safety. First and foremost has to be the safety, because even if you cannot guarantee the safety of the employee or the kids, then it doesn't matter how much they get compensated or not if they're going to die, because we are forcing people to go back to the school district, mm-hmm. especially when the current board and the administration has refused to look into how to protect these individuals that are being forced to go back. So compensation doesn't take priority. Priority is the safety first and foremost, bringing back everybody back to the distance learning, full distance learning, not this BS that the superintendent says, yeah, we're going to give you distance learning, but we're going to force you to go back, because we failed to ask TEA and the government for those extensions that everybody else has asked for. We have failed. So first and foremost is a priority. Second is a compensation. This current board took away the step increases for the teachers that was given to them with the previous board. I included. I voted to give them that compensation plan. I voted to give them those step increases. This board took it away. Why would you take something away that they are already benefiting from? That's a slap in the face.
Yeah. No, sorry, I lost train of thought because I was wishing you both the best of luck on your election. You men are winners. Where's Frankie? Where is Frankie, Manny? You're muted, Frankie. Manny, you're muted, Manny.
Frankie had something going on, so he couldn't
make it. Yeah, he's trying to get a master's degree. He's trying to get even more educated. If he's elected at BISD, he'll be more educated.
Remember, they just finished the funeral, so I think their aunt had passed away. So they're
on top of that, right? Correct.
That's true. Thank you for that. By the way, I was going to have to take off. Mm-hmm. Do any of y'all have school-age children to relate for a better school system success? I myself has an educator and parent, have experienced schools not only in the RGV and everywhere in the U.S. need change. I think, Carlos, you have at least 2 children in BISD, correct, right now?
Well, no, one of them just graduated this last year, but I have my baby who's in middle school. No. But I also have my wife.
Yeah,
I also have my wife who's an educator and has been an educator. So yeah, I am vested. Not like my opponent said the other night that he has no vested interest in the school district. I do have a vested interest. I have a child and I have a wife, that do go to the school district that do go and attend public education facilities, which is BISD. So I do have a vested interest, guys. It is very, very important for me.
Right. I think taxes are important. The budget is important, and I think I saw a video from your opponent that came on this weekend, and he claimed that he has the experience to be a BISD trustee. He's been on the board since what, May of this year, or not very. He hasn't been on the board very long, has he?
No, he hasn't.
And you, on the other hand, have 4 years experience on the board. You have by far more experience than he does. And you've been a servant and a public servant for our community. So I think it's important that people realize the differences between you and your opponent. And I will also say this, Manny has invited your opponent to come on. I've had an open invitation for him. And he has ignored us, which is fine. It's your choice. But to me, transparency is important. This is the platform for anyone who wants to come on to give your platform free of charge. No, we're not going to give you, you're not going to have to give us something to be on. And why are we doing this? Because it's important for our community, especially in coronavirus. You, Carlos Elizondo, have been in the forefront of fighting for change and making sure that our students are ready to have virtual learning. So I commend you as a parent, as a BISD parent, as a voter. I believe in you, Carlos, and I know you will not let us down. And so I thank you so much for running. Is there, and again, coronavirus is a big deal, and I want somebody who has your experience in the health system as a former fire chief, as an EMS person, being on that BISD, because there is not anybody on that board right now that can say that. And so I hope you win, Carlos. Best of luck. Is there anything you want to tell the voters right now that are watching us throughout the state of Texas? We have people from all over the state of Texas. And if you have friends and family in Brownsville, tell them to vote for Carlos Elizondo. Why should they vote for you?
Thank you. The reason why is that I don't take a step backward. I do not go back. I make sure that if I commit to something, that I'm going to make sure that we go and it happens. It materializes. My opponent has shown in his history, in his short history as a board member, that he takes a stand, and when it gets hot and when the punches start rolling, he takes a step back. And he allows the people that are there, his partners in making the decisions for over 40,000 students and almost 7,000 employees. He takes a step back because the room's getting hot. I don't want to be looking like the bad guy. You're not going to be looked at as a bad guy if you're doing the right thing. It doesn't matter if you stand by yourself, Eddie, but stand truthful to what you said you were going to do. Don't be a coward and take a step back. Especially when you have a woman that's leading the fight and you're following her, and you allow that woman to stand there by herself. And look where we're at now. That same decision they could have had that day, the day that he took back what he said he was going to do, is to get rid of the board attorney. A few weeks later, that board attorney assaulted or tried to assault that woman, that female board member. And Philip Cowan tried to jump in. And he's the one that needed a police escort home because of that confrontation. So you see the leadership. Yeah, you see the leadership that happens. He claims to be an officer or a retired officer, but yet shows the opposite. An officer would have stood up and said, what, I'm sorry, but I'm standing here firm next to this female who's my colleague. Yes, we don't like what you did. We're going to vote against you. We're going to fire you, whatever it may be. But you stand strong. You don't take a step back and leave her there by herself. That's not who you're going to get with me. I fought Sylvia Atkinson. I fought her for 2 years until, I lost the election against Ed Oswald. And that's fine. It needed to happen because look where we're at now. Steadfast and strong against her. And guess what? When I was not there, look where she's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she is. I think this week they're having a jury, doing the jury, looking into figuring out the juries for her federal bribery and corruption charges. Of course, she's innocent until proven guilty, but the current vice president, or not the vice president, but current board member, has been arrested for alleged bribery and corruption by the FBI, and so that hanging very much overhead in this BIC election? That was a great question. I wish he could answer it. We can have him on again, and you can come on. He can have his answer because we are having a very tight ship. Carlos, thank you so much for joining us. We have Judge Justice Jaime Tejeda coming up right now. God bless you, Carlos.
That guy's a good guy, man. I know him. We'll
make sure you come back and ask us these questions, and it'll be awesome. God bless you, Carlos. We'll see you soon. Best of luck to you. To make sure you wear that sunblock for early voting. All right, cool.
Say hi to Jaime for me, okay? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Most definitely. I can't even hear. Manny, you are muted, and I don't know what you're muting. Never mind.
We got a couple of minutes.
Oh, well, I guess you're going to have to answer the question, Judge.
All right, there you go.
I'm sorry. Answer the question that I'm going to ask you. Apparently, we have 2 more minutes. I didn't know we had.
Yeah, Marco, great question. But you know what? The federal government has already given us the ability to choose whether it be distance learning or not, without it affecting any type of compensation. So, Governor has already shown that there is no loss of funds if we stay home, as long as we give the opportunity to that student and have him equipped with the distance learning equipment, which either Wi-Fi, internet, or an iPad, or whatever it is, to make sure that they do that. If they don't have that, then yes, they have the option to go to the school. But then again, if you're going to give that kid the option to go to school, then you need to bring in volunteers who want to teach at the school and not force our employees to go there if they don't want to go. There should be a choice.
All right. Well, I know, how excited are you? I asked you earlier, where are you going to be at tomorrow? Are you going to be taking people to go vote? Are you going to be standing up, holding a sign, or what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be out there making sure that the people who are volunteering for us, because we have a lot, have water, have shade if they need it, and have anything they need, whether it be snacks, food, whatever it is. So we'll be cruising around the city of Brownsville, making sure that everybody that's volunteering and helping us win this election is taken care of. Just like I promised to take care of all BIZ employees when I get there November the 3rd.
All right. Manny, you're saying Justice Tejeda may not be able to make it?
Yep.
So do you want to go? Do we have any of the judges that want to come on already?
Yeah, we have 2 of them. They're backstage waiting for us. Carlos, thank you so much for stopping
by. Technical difficulties. God bless you, Carlos. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, let's bring those 2 on, I guess. If Judge Jaime Tejeda can't make it, that's okay. I don't have the intro that I was expecting to have. But guys, you're all in for a treat. We have at least 2 of the 3 judges that are running for the incumbents that are running for the Texas Court of Criminal. And I do not have their names on there because they're not on there. On the thing, so I don't know which is which.
Okay, hold on a second. We'll get there.
And who's over there?
Okay, 3 of them.
Oh, we all 3 of them are together. 2 of them are together. Okay. Judge Geary,
right in front of us. That's right.
Judge Newell.
He wanted to make sure he had his sign in the background, so he's over there with his huge face. So it's like a metaphor for him.
Okay, so you all take the stage. First off, thank you for coming on. We are primarily a Valley show, but we have a lot of connections to Clayburgh County and even to Nueces County, so we're trying to grow this show. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Whoever wants to introduce yourself and tell us why us in the Valley should vote for you.
Now, you guys can't put your names there on the bottom if you didn't get that screen where you can pop your name there.
My name was on the bottom. The third is I'm on David's computer.
Okay.
We'll get crosstalk between you 2 guys right there on your mics if you got separate mics on. Just turn down the volume on one of them.
And you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. All right. Who wants to go first? Judge Newell or Judge Geary? And Judge, my mind is going blank. So
Richardson.
Okay, so one of you was the more recent appointee, right? Judge Richardson, you were appointed by
No,
Judge.
no. I'll go ahead and go first.
All right, tell us, Judge. All right.
Okay, so my name is David Newell, along with Judge Geary and Judge Richardson. We were elected in 2014. We got on the bench in 2015. We've been there for about 5.5 years, almost 6 now. This is the highest court in Texas for criminal cases. As you know, it's across the hall from the Supreme Court. They do civil judgments, anything involving children, but we do death penalty all the way down to misdemeanors, things like that. And we're an appellate court. So So we're actually reviewing what the lower trial courts do, and so that's our job. Basically, once someone has been convicted of a crime in a lower court, they can appeal it to the courts of appeals or intermediate courts of appeals, like the 13th Court of Appeals. If Jaime is going to be speaking later, that's his court. And then from there, they can have discretionary review to our court, like the Supreme Court of the United States. You can take a discretionary case to the United States Supreme Court. Well, they do that in every state. And for us, if it's a criminal case, the discretionary review goes to us, except for death penalty cases. All death penalty cases are going to go directly to us. They're going to skip the Intermediate Court of Appeals and go to us. I don't know how much time I have. I don't want to take anyone else.
You all have as much time as y'all want. Y'all are our last guest. That's why we had Judge Justice, was supposed to come, and I guess you all going to have 15, 20, as long as you all want to be on. I'm fine with it. You all are, you're that's right, Manny? I'm right on that, Manny? So we're going to make it. Feel free. I want you
to start singing. Well, you don't understand. Eventually, I'll start singing like Hootie and the Blowfish. Really terrible.
You might get votes that way. You'd be surprised. Judge Richardson,
or if you want to sing, we're okay with that.
We're okay with that. All right. So Judge Richardson, Judge Newell, Judge Yeri, tell us who you are, whichever one you want. You all take the stage. Tell me who you are, why we should vote for you. I mean,
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So my name is Kevin Patrick Yeri. I'm one of the 9 judges. I serve with Judge Newell and Judge Richardson. We were all elected at the same time to the court in 2014, and we all came from very similar backgrounds in the sense that we all were appellate lawyers. And I've lost my video feed here, but
it happens.
Here I am. I'm back now. I'm going to come around here and just
you
borrow David's if that's okay.
Where are you all at, by the way? Where are you all at right now?
Currently at another forum right now.
Oh, really? Y'all just finished up a forum?
Yes.
We were here in Comal County.
You need to switch to this one here.
Okay, I know where that is.
Okay, it's New Braunfels, Texas. So one of the important things to keep in mind about our court is that we are all elected statewide. Right. So every single voter in every single county in Texas is going to be able to see our name and choose our names on the ballot, or our opponents, which we hope that you don't, because let's just say that we are prepared for this kind of work. We spent our careers not only doing criminal law, but also doing appellate work, which is the unique kind of work that happens at the Court of Criminal Appeals. And as for myself, I can tell you that I began my career as a law clerk to one of the judges on the Court of Criminal Appeals. So, I mean, I started my career there and then left the court and practiced criminal defense work for about 3 years. And then I was hired by the Dallas DA to become an appellate lawyer for the DA's office. I also did that in Harris County, married my wife there. She's a pediatrician who was training there at the time. And then finally, I wound up the rest of my career as a prosecutor in Bexar County in San Antonio, where I also, practiced criminal appellate work for the DA there. But, on a more personal level, I'm from Laredo. I grew up in Laredo, Texas. My parents were born and raised there. So I'm really excited to be on RioPolitics because the Rio Grande is where I grew up. I can even remember as a young kid, my buddies and I, we entered the Rio Grande River raft race where we got a bunch of pallets and we strapped a bunch of inner tubes to the bottom and tried to float down the river in a race. So, my point is that the Valley, the RGV, Laredo, those are my home territories, and I don't want to not campaign down there. So that's why when you drive around, at least in McAllen, I know I was down there not long ago putting up some signs. Down in Laredo, I've been putting up signs down there because folks know my name, Yeri, down there, because my uncle and my grandfather were both presidents of the school board down there. So that's my community, and I'm really working hard to earn the vote of the people in the RGV and in Laredo.
Yeah, and people this is a pet peeve of mine. I'm glad you separate Laredo from Rio Grande Valley because they're not the same. It's a real pet peeve of mine, and I don't like it when I see like the Washington Post and other organizations saying that, oh, they're the same. Like, no. We do not respect
the valley, and then you got the desert.
Judge Richardson, I incorrectly thought that for some reason I thought you were one of the appointees, but that was running. But I think it's on the Supreme Court, not the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. Who are you, Judge Richardson? Why should we vote for you?
Kevin grew up in Laredo, but I'm the only one that speaks Spanish. How about that?
Whoa, it's okay. It's okay.
I was raised in a military family. My dad was stationed in Spain, and I lived in Argentina. So between the two of those, I lived in Spanish-speaking countries for 6 years. He retired in San Antonio, and I went to St. Mary's Law School with Kevin. Kind of we overlapped a little bit, but I worked in the DA's office. I did trial and appellate work, and I followed that by working at the U.S. Attorney's Office. During that time period, I also taught at the local colleges. And in 1999, I was fortunate to be appointed a judge by Governor Bush. Between 1999 and 2008, I served as a judge in Bexar County. Then I was defeated in 2008 with kind of the sweeps that we talk about, where judges just get swept out. So I became a visiting judge and actually worked down in the Valley. I worked in Laredo and Del Rio. I worked in 50 counties across the state for about 6 years. I'm board certified in criminal law. I think it's important that your audience understand that our court, it is the criminal Supreme Court of Texas. I don't think the Texas Supreme Court justices are here tonight, but they don't tell us what to do and we don't tell them what to do. We handle 3 types of cases that the public should know about when they're determining what are the qualifications. Can anybody just run? And they can't. We review all death penalty cases that come straight from the trial courts. We review appeals that come from the intermediate appellate courts, and in the Valley that can be from the Corpus Court of Appeals, or you have your own branch down there, or the Fourth Court of Appeals, and we review what are called writs by the thousands. We are the busiest appellate court in the country, and it's important to have appellate experience when you're coming into these positions. Our opponents just don't have it. And we write, we read, we write, we read. We grade the papers of lower courts, and we understand what we're doing. We're all qualified for that. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do have actually a weird question. I know the 13th Court of Appeals for some reason is overturned a lot, at least in the Supreme Court. Do you all overturn a lot of cases that come in from the 13th Court of Appeals still, or has that gotten a little bit better?
We have. I mean, I can remember a time, certainly when I was a practitioner, where we did, and where we end up doing that. And that's really just the assignment is being overturned is generally means that, hey, you know, there's a statute or something, or there's precedent, and you have to make sure the ruling fits within that. That's why it's important to have appellate experience so that you understand how you're not ruling on these things in the first instance. You're trying to see how it fits in a larger picture. Right. And so for a while, the 13th Court of Appeals was sort of trying to judge things by their own lights, and that's why the Court of Criminal Appeals having sort of fixed them. I just recently looked at the stats though, and I don't believe the 13th is any different in that regard. I think that's leveled out a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good for us because we live in the Valley and
where you want consistency.
I live, unfortunately, I live in a Democratic hellhole. That's my word. And I don't want the state of Texas to turn that way. And I know that you all are running against Democrats, and people may not want to vote in your race for whatever reason because they don't know who you are. And that's a real shame. And so now that we've lost the palanca down here and throughout the state, it might be, I don't know if it's going to be easier or harder to get Democrats to win, and I don't want them to win. How hard has this been raised for anybody?
We don't want them to win this time either.
Yeah, I know that. So what are you doing to make sure they don't win? What are you doing specifically to make sure they don't win? And how can you differentiate yourself from them other than party?
Well, I mean, that's we're trying to do things like this is a good example of the stuff that we do. We try to go everywhere and talk to people, and we try to explain to them, as Judge Richardson said, is, you know, this is an appellate court, and so you need appellate court experience, and that's how you try and differentiate. But I mean, the thing that I've always prided myself on is I try to make sure that I emphasize my qualifications. I really believe, I was raised to believe, look, we want people that are good at the job. We want someone that we know is qualified to do a good job. They're going to do a good job. And it's like this is an appellate, it's in the title, Court of Criminal Appeals. We do criminal appeals. So you want someone that does criminal appeals, right? You don't necessarily want someone that can do some other, it's sort of like the difference between, like, if you had a heart condition, would you go to a general practitioner and say, please do heart surgery on me? No, you go to a heart specialist, right? You don't get a plumber to fix your your ceiling fan, right? And so that's sort of the reason why I try to emphasize our qualifications. I missed out on getting to tell a little bit about myself, so I'm going to.
Yeah, no, I want you to tell. Yeah, you skipped out. You gave us what it is. I gotta
say the thing that's distracting me is I kind of feel like this is like I'm in a Beastie Boys video.
You do actually, but just so you know, there is a question down there.
That's rules the most entertaining on the court, so hear him out.
Okay, no worries. But I will say this: there's a question on there. Okay, but Judge, if you're able to read that question, answer that question after you tell us who you are. Marcia, so your question is answered by one of the three, if not all three.
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, so the question here is, so you use case law and constitutionality rather than habit or popular ruling. And that's true. I mean, that's essentially when you're talking about our precedent, we follow precedent. And the law is that you're supposed to apply precedent when it has been properly reasoned and it's shown to be workable. It's only when it's shown to be unworkable or poorly reasoned that you can start to depart from it. And then even then, when you do that, that's sort of an interesting point. Even then, when you feel the need to say this is overruled, you're still trying to compare it and see if it fits in other precedent. You're trying to make sure that this is actually going to, the reason why it was poorly reasoned is it doesn't fit with this other area law. So you're always trying to harmonize these things so that the law is consistent. And so that's what we do in order, instead of going, this feels right to me, we have to say, look, here's this precedent, but there's this other line of cases that makes more sense and fits this area better. And that's why we should have followed that. And so that's the way I would answer it. I guess I'll turn it over to
No, but you still haven't told us who you are and why we should vote for you. And I don't want to hog it all, but I mean,
I think the answer I just gave is perfectly the reason why everyone should vote for me. Like, I just did that off the cuff. You should totally. He's so smart. That's why.
You all have my endorsement. If that means anything to you all, I can write my name. Roman Bettis endorses you, not the page. The page is endorsed. So you're fine. That's why I'm having you on the show, because I want to make sure you get my endorsement and support. I desperately want you all to win. I'm scared of Democrats. Although I voted, just to be fair, I voted in the Democrat primary because there's no reason to vote in the Republican primary down here in the Valley. But I am a conservative.
Sure. Awesome. We understand. Okay, so let me get back to telling you a little bit about who I am.
Right.
I'll try and make it quick because I'm last. But my name is David Newell, and I, like I said, I've been on the court for about 6 years, coming up on 6 years. Before that, I was a prosecutor for about 17 years. And I guess that's the thing I always start with, to try and get people to understand who I am and where my heart is. When I went to college, I wasn't ever even going to be a lawyer. I was actually going to be an English professor. I was going to be a writer. That's what I liked. But about towards the end of my career, a good friend of mine was sexually assaulted, and I didn't know how to help her. My father's a Navy man, went to the Naval Academy, and they've always raised me to try and be helpful and serve others. And so I went to law school. First I went to the Houston Area Women's Center so I could try and understand how to talk to my friends, so I could learn how to listen. And I volunteered at the Houston Area Women's Center answering a rape crisis hotline for about a year. And that really taught me that I wasn't really, I may not be using my talents for the best and most helpful means. And so I went to law school to become a prosecutor, and that's what I did. And so I went to UT Law, and then I came back to my hometown. I grew up in Fort Bend, which is Sugar Land, just outside of Houston. So I'm a suburb kid, which is why I understand the BC Boys. And
You're not
I went back to what?
You're not showing your age or anything. That Beastie Boys.
Exactly.
Let's not do that.
Hey, come on.
It's okay. I remember the Beastie Boys too.
No, I know, you're right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna show my age. That's when I grew up there.
That's
and so I went back to, after law school, I went to Fort Bend DA's office, and I started as a line prosecutor. I tried cases. I've appeared as an attorney at every level of the court system through my career. I was in JP all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. I've actually done a couple of briefing in the United States Supreme Court as well. And I also did appeals, but the big thing is I did appeals in addition to trials, and I had more talent at that because of my writing background. And gradually they made me an appellate prosecutor in Fort Bend, and then I went to the Harris County DA's office there, and I did appeals there, and I did every kind of appeal you can imagine. Death penalty appeals, death penalty writs, that was often brought into the courtroom to explain legal issues for the benefit of the prosecutors. And I'm board certified in criminal law, and I'm board certified in criminal appellate law now. And in fact, I'm on the subcommittee that creates and grades the exam for the board certification exam for criminal appellate law. Because I think that's important, that if you're going to do criminal appeals, you have to have this broad base of knowledge. And that's why I did all those things. And so I ran for the office in 2015 because 3 judges were stepping down, and I've been speaking on the significant cases from the United States Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals for a decade before this, and I wanted to make sure there was consistency on the court. And so I wanted to make sure that someone who was familiar with the case law would step up. And so I tried to get my boss to do it, and he would not run. And so I ran for the position, and I was fortunate enough to be elected by Texas by the citizens of Texas to be on the court. And since then, I've written a number of opinions, and we've all written a lot of really, really good opinions. And so
how hard is it to write opinions? How often you all, the three of you in particular, how often do you disagree versus agree, like percentage-wise?
We disagree all the time, actually.
Okay, so who wins now usually? I'm just curious.
That's the thing that you want to do, because there is something to be said for the fact that you have all these disagreements, because it helps refine the reasoning. It really does.
A little bit, because I think Judge Richardson wants to come in a little bit. I feel like
I'm laughing at Judge Newell. You know, right now is a perfect opportunity to tune in to the Supreme Court justice nomination process.
Right.
And you listen to how they question that candidate about her prior writings and what they do, and it gives you a good education of the role of an appellate judge, which is completely different than the role of the judge in a courtroom where you have jurors and you have witnesses. What the three of us have is a significant amount of appellate experience that we bring to the table that our opponents don't have.
Right.
And it's a different mindset. And
it really is, yeah.
No, I agree. I know some Justice Greg Perks, two good friends of mine. So,
yeah, Greg.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we meet weekly with 8-9 judges all together. So it's like one big happy family that can't agree, you know, on a lot of things.
It's a Thanksgiving without a really good meal, is what it's like.
One of our former judges once told me, and I think it's true, it sounds true to me, that on a court of appeals, you know, they sit in panels of 3 judges. And so what that former judge told me was that, you know, with 3 judges, you can almost always just get one of the others to agree with you, and then the case is over. The difference on our court is you've got 9 judges sitting around the table talking about every case together. So in a way, I mean, we all think we're right, and we all think that we know what the right answer is. So we really have to work together, and it can be a very difficult process to put 9 people who all think they know what the right answer is in the same room and try to come to some sort of a resolution of a case where we can agree. Which, you know, sometimes we don't, and then other times we work real hard to try to find agreement so that we can create a precedent that can be followed for years to come.
At one point I was hoping to have some of you all 3 of you at one point do a rapid fire, but we're going to do that after Manny asks his question, because apparently he's had a question for 10 minutes and I never noticed. So Manny, what is your question, Manny?
That's all right. Just a general question. What needs to be done? What can Republicans do to ensure we get good conservative judges elected this November, every election cycle?
Vote like a pirate. Arr! Vote R.
That's what you want. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. No, but I think what he's trying to get at is here in the Valley. I mean, they're small pockets. Hidalgo County, it's a youthful enthusiasm, but some of them are a little bit more moderate than necessarily conservative. Cameron County actually elects Republicans. They've only had one Republican elected in a while. The other one that has been elected, I don't really like, but that's just my personal opinion. But we're a much smaller county, and we've had a history of electing some Republicans. But now it's just pure Democrat. Got to vote Republican. Got to vote Democrat. Vote Democrat. So what can you tell people other than we have a lot of corruption here in the Valley, which we do? We've had judges gone to federal prison. We've had sheriffs go to federal prison. I was the guest we had on while you are watching. We have a Brownsville school board member that is facing federal corruption and bribery charges this week and here in Brownsville. What can we do to make sure the Republican elected so that doesn't happen? And Josh will ask the question after you all answer. Weird question, but
one, I think you can have corruption anywhere, right? I mean, honestly, you could have. It's possible there are corrupt Republicans out there. Although I can tell you that, with these 2 guys, I feel very comfortable. I cannot endorse anybody because judges can't endorse candidates. But I know that I work with these guys, and as far as I know, they're not in any trouble.
You can't say the same about him, though.
But anyway, we think differently. We're just not corrupt.
But, we work. I can tell you this. We on the Court of Criminal Appeals work very hard, and we have had 9 people on that court that come to work every day with one thing in mind, and that is that we understand that we don't write the law. And here's the thing: if a judge doesn't have a clear understanding that somebody else writes the law, and the Constitution is written and approved by other people, and we just have to follow what's written there, then you know what they can do? You can see it. I mean, you could just read your newspaper when you hear that some court somewhere has decided something that is inconsistent with what we believed about the Constitution or the law in the past, and you can tell. What's happening from time to time is you have the wrong judges who have the wrong kind of judicial philosophy, that don't understand that, again, it's the legislature that writes the law, who decide that they are going to implement the policy that they want to have in the country. And, frankly, from my perspective, that's like tyranny. I mean, that's what dictators do. They come in and they tell you, this is how it's going to be, and I don't care if you like it. And that's inconsistent with the democratic style of government that the U.S. is here to provide us with. We're here. We would all be much better off if, instead of having the courts settle the most important questions of our day, if we sent our elected representatives to Austin to go and vote and talk to each other and work out the big issues of the day. Maybe then we wouldn't all be hating each other, and at each other's throats about all these major issues, because everybody would know at the end of the day that they had some input in terms of the process.
Guys, if you can give me a second, for some reason, there's some that says that our feed is being interrupted or something.
Take a look.
Okay, guys, apparently there are, I guess our feed is not working very well. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
We can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, it's just that we had a guest earlier. And there's some that
it's working. It's working. It's working.
Interrupted or something.
The feed is working. It's working good. I just clicked into it.
All right, good job, guys.
Continue.
I don't know what's going on, guys. I apologize. Apparently, we had an earlier guest on, and I usually don't disagree with candidates or anything like that. I try to be as calm as possible with them.
We're good.
It's kind of annoying. That's my personal opinion. And I didn't want to do that to her because she didn't deserve it. But she'd been annoying my friend Manny all day, and it was getting on my nerves. Guys, Josh has a question for you. Josh, he's with the Cameron County Conservative Facebook page.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all tonight? My question is, I'm doing well, thank you. Of any past or present Supreme Court Justice of the United States, who has most influenced your judicial philosophy and why?
So let me just answer that real quick. Justice Clarence Thomas, I think, is sort of the sleeper giant on the Supreme Court of the United States. That guy is absolutely, unconditionally brilliant from start to finish, and he is my personal idol on the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah. Sorry. Anybody else?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just so you all know, I have my phone here, so I'm able to see the live on Facebook, and so people are commenting like crazy right now, and I'm not seeing them on here, so we might have like a little bit delay. So I'm not ignoring you all. It's just that happens sometimes.
You guys can pass that question along.
Yeah, pass it along, and then I'm going to do rapid fire with you all. Okay? Yeah.
Okay. That's a really hard question for me because it's sort of like, as anyone here that knows me here knows, I watch a lot of movies, right? And I remember. I have a very good memory about these things. And so a lot of times now when I go watch movies, I'm not even watching movies because of the whole movie. It's rare. It's like I like pieces of things. And that's kind of the same thing with me and looking at all the justices on a particular court. There's plenty of things I like about some of them, but even Justice Thomas, who I really, really admire, there's opinions he's had that are not, I'm like going, are you really, And then, and so, but the same thing is true. Like, I don't like some of the things that Sotomayor might say, but then there's, like, she had a really good opinion in United States versus Jones. And so, like, for me, it's hard for me to pick one judge to say something, but I've always admired something that I think was something that came from Oliver Wendell Holmes, and it's something that Scalia sort of reiterated as well, which is, look, you have to look at the idea that you're not going to be making a decision the way you want it to be. You have to believe in law as something outside and above you that's this real solid thing, objective thing. Even if you can't know objective truth, you've got to try and put your own feelings aside and make sure that you're voting based upon, not on your experience, but based upon the law. Like Oliver Wendell Holmes, remember, is the guy who says the life of the law has been experience, not reason. But even so, he took that as sort of a warning to say, look, we're all basing our decision on what our experience is, but it's our collective experience. And so I really admire the idea of saying, just because we know that we're basing everything on our collective experience, doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to make sure that the law is something that we make our decisions according to reason. And we may not get there, we're imperfect people, but the struggle itself is something that I think carries you forward.
And if you don't mind, just so those of you because we get people coming in and out sometimes, these are 3 judges on the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, which is the criminal side of the Supreme Court. In Texas, there's a Supreme Court, there's a criminal side. The Supreme Court does civil, this is a criminal side. So those of you that are really big fans of one particular person might be very interested in this particular court. So this is Judge Richardson. Tell us.
I remind everybody, the cases we get in our court, those are the ones that you see on Dateline in 2020. We get the interesting cases. The Supreme, they just decide who gets the money, who gets the kids, did the surgeon leave the sponge in your stomach? And, that doesn't wind up on 2020. We get the real interesting cases that deal with constitutional issues. And, I kind of agree with David on, I've been asked this repeatedly throughout the campaign trail who's your favorite justice? And then they kind of try to pin you down. There's any number of justices that I really like. They're all remarkable individuals. They are at the top of the legal career. I think personality-wise, I like Gorsuch because he seems like a statesman. He's professional. He's polite. I read his book.
He looks like him.
You really do. You really do.
Well, then there's Roberts, who's been kind of in the middle and controversial lately. But I like one of the quotes he's always said, and that is, look, we're umpires. We call the balls and the strikes. We don't play in the game. We're just the umpires. And I like that philosophy. They all have their own talents and that they bring to the table. And so it's hard for me to kind of nail down who's the best.
Yeah. Well, as long as you don't give half of Texas away, I'm okay with you, Judge Richardson.
That's a great example.
That's great.
I don't know, but he likes Gorsuch. I don't understand it.
My best friend from high school lives in Tulsa, and I called him. I said, "So who owns your house these days?" He goes, "I sold it a long time ago, but I called my brother and asked him if he'd met the new owner of his home."
Well, one of my good friends
talk about how important judiciary is. Gorsuch actually had just interpreted the text of the original treaty, and he said, "Look, this is the Trail of Tears. This is what they got for the Trail of Tears." So we're going to keep.
I get it, but he's still giving
him some credit for breaching that decision as much as it completely cut Oklahoma in half. So it's less of a stove now.
But wait a minute. The good news is we don't have any authority to give your house away. We just do criminal cases.
That's
all.
You
don't have to worry about that.
And I don't know, Automotive's asking this question: how many times they've been interviewed by a Dateline? I'm going to say 0. And
That's what you knew about Oklahoma. That's amazing.
I know it's okay. Well, I figured Jewel would want to get rid of half of Oklahoma since Oklahoma, for some reason, won that obnoxious 4th overtime game over the weekend, which I don't understand how that happened. An insane game, but you know what? Fire Tom Herman. Is that okay for me to say that? Okay. Usually what we do is rapid fire once in a while. Since we haven't had you on the show, we might as well do rapid fire questions. So those of you who are watching, give us some of your rapid fire, but keep it not naughty, because some of y'all do naughty rapid fire questions. So the first question, any of y'all can answer it. All 3 of you can answer it. That's fine. This is a dumb question. This is actually a question I ask everybody because we have a friend of ours named Zach Cantu, who's from KURV, our local talk radio station, 710. He always asks, he's the sponsor question, cake or pie? Cake or pie?
Or cake or death?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, but it's cake or pie. That's his question. He's actually a radio host. Huh? You like cake or do you like pie?
Cake okay. Pie? I'm cake. I'm not death. I'm cake, not death.
I don't care.
Yes, I get it.
And I like apple pie.
Pie.
You got to be middle of the road. Pie. You see, I like Judge Richardson. He's gonna get
middle of the road to the end.
Coconut cream pie.
No, you see, it matters what kind it is, though. Because you can't just have any pie. You got to have apple pie, hot with ice cream, or chocolate cake. That's it.
That is
I like cake. I don't like death. So cake or death, I pick
fine. But you see, for when you don't have, I thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. Even though you've written bad non-recommendations, I think on our page, maybe make it recommended.
Maybe you can change it. Yeah, give us a nice rec.
And that'd be nice. For me, I've been craving banana cream pie, but I haven't had it in 7 years, and I'm craving it. This is a dumb question, but I'm gonna have to ask: right Twix or left Twix? I don't have the other side. I don't know where it is. My son grabbed it. Right Twix.
I like the Reese's pumpkin. Right Twix.
Right.
Reese's pumpkin.
So when you walk into the Supreme Court building, you look to your left and you see the Supreme Court of Texas courtroom. You look to your right, and I'm proud to say we're on the right, the Court of Criminal
There
Appeals.
you go. That's a darn good answer. I like that answer. This is Ray. He is here in Brownsville. We do a really good job of teaching our kids chess, and he's one of our chess teachers in Brownsville. Chess or checkers? And chess. You like
Checkers.
Yes,
Checkers.
chess.
That's a good. You see, I'm beginning to like Judge Richardson. I'm just kidding. Linda's
I'm not good at chess, but I appreciate it. I don't know that I can play checkers too fast, and eventually I'm that one guy stuck in the corner. And that's why.
Yeah, that's true. That's me. That's totally me, and that's why I don't play checkers. But I'm not good at chess as I once was.
That's exactly right. That's what
Okay. Your favorite card game, like Magic, the Magic the Gathering, or would you play poker? Magic the Gathering or poker?
Fruit the pig. No. Sorry, there's an Adventure Time reference there.
It is really.
On ESPN 8, The Ocho, we will have Magic the Gathering. The favorite card game. My card game is not really a card game, but it's close because it's like gin. I like mahjong. I'm a big my wife and I and my kids, we play mahjong every New Year's Eve, and basically it's like gin where you have to get suits and you discard in the middle in the pile, but you're playing with tiles, but it's essentially like a card game.
Okay.
I'm pretty simple. I like battle. That's what I like to play with cards. I don't like.
That's fine.
We were in Las Vegas, man, and they did that. I was like, my chips were like, woo. That was like, it was a quick war. It was a very
quick war. Yeah, that's what it is. Judge Richardson, your favorite card game?
I can't even shuffle a deck of cards.
I have muscular dystrophy. Royale is asking beer or liquor? Beer or liquor? Can you answer?
I like beers.
Okay, all right. We won't answer that question.
I'm a single malt guy, so okay. I like Speyside Scotch. Occasionally, I drink a little bit more from Isla Islands, so I tend to like that.
Okay. Lone Star beer or Shiner Bock?
Shiner Bock. That's my college.
Huh? Richardson, no?
I don't drink, so it's got to be Coke.
That's right.
Yeah, neither do I. That was going to be my next question. Coke or Pepsi or Dr. Pepper?
All I wanted was a Pepsi, and she wouldn't get me a Pepsi.
The Dr. Pepper cream soda is a killer.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
It's really good.
Dr. Pepper.
You just got all the Waco vote, Judge Richardson.
Yeah.
What's that?
My love, my love for Diet Dr. Pepper is well documented. I'm actually I'll go through at least 3 of them in a conference. It's really, I'll have to get up and go get one. It's basically like if I were smoking cigarettes, it would be end to end. It was really kind of, I'm almost done. I'm done with the filter. I'm done with the filter.
This has been a fun stuff. You see, this is what I like about rapid fire asking, because I firmly believe rapid fire gives you all an opportunity. Because for those of you all that are watching, these judges cannot tell you how they would roll on an opinion. They can't tell you they're pro-life, pro-choice, and it's really tough. But the way you get to know about judges is not only their educational background, but how they act and interact. And I think this is a perfect example of why I think it's important, y'all. Judge Yeri, you didn't answer that question yet. Coke or Pepsi or Dr.
Pepper? I'm a Pepper. Yeah, we're all Dr. Pepper.
Okay, good. Waco's your vote completely.
Oh, yeah.
Rose is asking what kind of wine you like. Judge Richardson doesn't drink, so I'm not going to ask you. So Judge Yeri, Judge
anything red and in the $8 to $14 range.
Perfect. Yes.
I'm a big fan of Cabernet. One of my big favorites is Chateau Montelena Cabernet. It's a really, really good. It's a lighter Cabernet. I like that. So.
Okay. If anybody else any happy rapid fire, golf or bowling? Vela, golf or bowling? Which would you prefer?
I'll say bowling.
Bowling.
Good, y'all. I'm not going to pick up Republicans and want to play golf.
I like to bowl with a nice Cabernet. Oh my God, it's going to be great.
That game, The Big Lebowski. I don't know why. I have a feeling you really like that movie. Is that one of your favorite movies by any chance?
Which one? Big Lebowski. Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, it's a good movie. I love that movie.
Okay, well, what's your movie? What's your favorite?
You just tied the whole thing together.
There you go. What's your favorite movie to watch on? What's your favorite?
Mine?
All time, yeah.
All time.
Oh, that's so hard for me. But I always go. My go-to
my go-to favorite movie is a movie called Memento by Chris Nolan. It's his first movie. I love that movie, but that's a really heady one. If I wanted something that another one, one that
Memento. I haven't seen that. I got to find that. Remind me to find that one. I want to see that. I like Christopher Nolan. I have not seen it. Mm-hmm.
Memento is backwards, and that's sort of it's a backwards movie. So,
Okay.
but it's one of my favorite ones. I have a poster of it in my wall or in my chambers, so as well. Guy Pearce was in it, and I can't remember who was it in The Matrix. Who was Carrie Ann Moss from The Matrix is in it. Joey Pantoliano is in it.
Yep.
It's a really good movie. That's one of my favorites.
Manny's a movie buff on our show for some reason.
I met Joey Pants. I know
Joey.
Joey.
Movie buff.
Yeah. At one point no, this was terrible.
He's the movie buff.
In one deal, they asked me to explain Tenet, in 60 seconds or less. I'm like, how Christopher Nolan could explain it in an hour and a half. It's about that's all I know.
Is Tenet at least good right now, or not really? I haven't heard it.
I would not say that it is good. I would say I have to watch it more times to see whether or not I like it. But Tenet, like Inception, is a mind-bending thing, but you can follow it. Like Tenet, you have to understand particle physics, and if you have to understand particle physics, then you're gonna love this movie. If you love particle physics, oh my God, I've been looking for the particle physics movie.
Yeah.
Tenet.
What I was saying is Manny is the movie buff. Manny just loves movies. Like he just.
Okay.
So Jajiri, what's your favorite movie? And then we're gonna go with dogs or cats.
Any movie involving Star Trek or Star Wars. I love space, and I want to go one day.
Oh, you know what? And that's actually one of our go-to rapid fire: Star Wars or Star Trek. But I'm not gonna make you choose since you said I will not make you choose. I will make you choose.
You know what? Let me tell you what. I have to pick Trek too because Trek debuted on television the day I was born.
Oh,
that's 1966. First day of Trek. First day of Yuri.
All right.
Lower Decks is awesome. Lower Decks, Star Trek Lower Decks is the funniest thing ever. I swear to God, it's so good.
I don't know. Judge Richardson, your favorite, and then we'll do dogs and cats, and I think we'll let you all go because I'm sure that you all have better things to do than chat with us.
I've got two: Hoosiers and Witness. Witness
is so good.
With Harrison Ford.
Witness, Harrison Ford, the Army.
I can listen to the soundtracks all day long.
Really, I love Hoosiers. It's a great sports movie. Yeah. My personal, if you would probably have a competition with Judge Fonseca, who we had earlier, because he's from Notre Dame, and he's bragging that Rudy. Rudy, he just loves that movie. But he's gonna he swears that if he wins, he's going to get sworn in by Justice Amy Coney Barrett if she gets.
That's good. That's good for him.
Yeah. Well, that's his personal mentor from Notre Dame, and I give it a hard because he's undefeated. Can you believe that? Notre Dame is undefeated. It's horrible. All right, dogs or cats? Dogs or cats. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but it's okay. I want my daughter to go though. Huh? Dogs or cats?
Dogs or cats? I'm a dog guy.
Dog guy.
Dogs, definitely dogs. No cats.
Dogs. I have a golden. Yeah. No substitute.
Cool. Any other? Yeah,
a few quick ones here.
A few quick ones. All right. Astros or Rangers?
I'll go with Astros.
Oh, that's a tough one.
You all for the cheating season or after the cheating season?
Oh, sorry.
I'm a Sox fan. I'm actually a Red Sox fan. Whatever. I was there. I'm so happy that they're failing, so now everyone can stop. But anyway, no, I like them because I like the Astros when they were in the dome. When the Astros. That's what. Right, yeah. Okay, I was like, man, seriously, right? So I'm glad I got another different. Yeah, exactly. So, but then I had nothing, and I didn't follow baseball as much, and so I started really getting into the Curse of Bambino, like a lot of people did, and that's what brought me to the Red Sox. And I just became. I'm a fan. I'm going to commit to the Red Sox, and that's it. But I'm very happy to see what the Astros are doing. My wife's an Astros. We have a mixed marriage in more ways than one, but that's one of the ways is that she's an Astros fan and I'm a Sox fan.
Yeah, it's okay. Somebody just said the coolest judges ever. Wow, that is a great compliment. That's awesome. There you go. Astros or Rangers. I almost don't want to have you all answer that question because you may lose the vote of Harris County or Dallas County. I don't want that to happen.
I won't lose either one. I'm a track fan. I do track and field photography in my spare time. I shoot.
Really cool.
I do. I've shot the Olympics, the Olympic trials.
He's really good.
State track meet every year. I'm not much of a baseball fan.
Wow. So you'll do the Texas relays and everything.
I've done it every year for the last 20 years.
Wow. I would
Also
love
in the Mossad. No, that's not true. I just say that because, like, the thing that's interesting about Judge Richardson is, like, you can be sitting there talking to him, and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this one time I did blah blah blah," and you'll be like, "What?" And he's like, "I used to do undersea diving. I was in it," like he's just had such a life. He's lived such an adventurous life, and so you just like, yeah, of course he would be the guy taking pictures of the track at the Olympics.
If you Google my name, my track pictures will come up. Just Google.
Yeah.
Bert,
Well, if is it okay to have you all again after the election?
Absolutely.
I would love to do this because I think it's important. Me, I'm a conservative. I don't call myself a Republican anymore because I didn't vote there. But I think it's important for Republicans to show people here in the Valley that Republicans are actual normal human beings, not these weirdos that just want to like.
Kind of stretching it for me, right? I mean, but I'm willing to go with that. That's the nicest thing someone said to me all day.
I agree with Connie Coolidge is impressive. You see, this was a good thing, guys. I appreciate I thank you so much for you guys have been great. Nice to see the human side of such a serious profession. Exactly, that's the point. So I appreciate you all coming on. And Judge Richardson say, "Oh wow."
Right, not us, not the other guys. No. The silver fox is exactly right. They're over here.
Estoy casado, lo siento.
He might be after that question.
Por 36 años.
There you go. There's your answer, Rosie. I'm sorry, Rosie.
Very good.
Linda was asking, really, Linda? You're going to have to ask this question. Longhorns are
Yep. Last one. This is our last one.
to get them to lose this election? What is wrong with you?
I got one kid who graduated from there, from one kid who's an Aggie who graduated from A&M, and one in A&M right now. So I got to say Aggies. I went to UT Law, so obviously I have to say Longhorns.
Yeah, no worries.
I can't pick either one of those
so
guys.
Go Utes. What are they?
It's okay.
Cougars. Okay.
Jim McMahon, Ty Detmer, like Steve Young.
Oh, boy.
Well, thank you for coming on. I was doing research on it today. We'll be voting for all the good job. And please, guys, Aggie Mom right here. All of you all that are watching this show, please do me a favor. Every vote for these particular race will matter. I guarantee you that your vote will make a difference in this race because I guarantee there'll be a lot of undervotes. I'm happy, but I'm not happy that I think that there's going to be a lot of undervotes, especially people that are voting in person here in the Valley. That's my prediction. And that might benefit you all because that means you might not vote for your Democrat opponents, but at the same time, every single vote will matter. Can
I just say one more thing that y'all can do to help us? Mm-hmm. One more thing is you can go to our Facebook pages and share some of our posts. And that way your friends will see our names so that when they go in the ballot booth, they're going to see a name they recognize and not one that they've never heard of before.
Right.
So please jump on our Facebook pages and share our posts. We appreciate it very much if you did.
And text each other, text your list tonight. Tonight is the night. People don't understand. Some people are not political novices. Text. Huh?
No, I mean tonight is the night because tomorrow is the vote.
Tonight, right now. Text your friends, get their names, text your people, say make sure they vote for this particular race. You're very welcome. They have just gained a new fan. You see, you got a new fan. Somebody had a question. Do you all have like a nickname? What was that?
Where did you answer that?
Somebody called us the Three Amigos before.
Earlier on this.
Tres Amigos.
The Tres Amigos. Yeah, I don't like the Three Amigos because at least in Brownsville we have three.
No.
A tall guy and two short guys. One who has a real beard.
Well, we will let you go, guys. Don't go away, please, judges. Are we gonna Justice League 89 for sure not coming on, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching RioPolitics Live.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. Again, you're more than welcome to come on anytime you all like to come on. I would appreciate it. It'd be great. But guys, those of you that are watching this, thank you for watching and staying through the whole 2 hours. Our show is normally not 2 hours, but I thought it was important to have this time with 3 judges and as many candidates as we could. We had a situation earlier, and that's not really what I want the show to be at all. And I was angry, and I shouldn't have been angry, but at the same time, I don't like people coming on my show or texting, Manny all day long and telling them that we made a mistake or something like that. When we didn't make a mistake, it was because what you did. So I'm sure she's still watching us right now. It's unfortunate, but that's not what the show is about. The show is about what we just did with these 3 judges and all the candidates else we had, about bringing them on to talk about their races and what's good for our community. And these 3 gentlemen will be good for our community, so please vote for them. So I'm Roman, and for Josh and Manny, this is Real Politics Live. We don't make the news. We don't do the news. We just help you see it. So God bless. See you all tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.